What's going on, ladies and gents? This is ShdwjGaming. We are here once again in the Earth Temple. Now, you guys remember how in the last episode I pretty much died to the dark nuts and the bubbles inside of this room, right? Well, as you guys might have noticed, I have close to full health now, and that is because before recording, I went ahead and visited Outset Island and got myself some of Grandma's hearty soup. And now, even though I'm not at full health because, you know what happened? While I was on my way back to this part of the dungeon, right? You know that room with the tombs and stuff where the redeads come out and you can find rupees inside of them too, and then when you'd walk by the tomb, the door would fall and all of that? Yeah, well, unfortunately, one of the doors fell on me, which is extremely lame and extremely annoying, but nonetheless, that's not gonna stop me, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to kill this bubble here before I take care of the dark nut, because I want to take care of the little guys before taking on the big one. Really, in video games, that's a pretty good strategy, especially when you're playing a JRPG or an RPG of any kind. You usually want to take out the little minions first before taking out the big guy, just so that you get rid of any annoyances and all of that, which, if you think about it, bubbles really are an annoyance. And now that I've taken out all the bubbles, this mini boss here, I can't even call it a mini boss, and these enemies before finding the big key anyway is really easy, see? And it would have been a lot easier if I could have done double damage thanks to Grandma's hearty soup, but I can't get over the fact that I allowed myself to get crushed by one of those tomb doors. That is just a little bit annoying, but nonetheless, we now have the big key, so there's no point in complaining. We are going to be completing this dungeon today, and we are going to be beating the boss today so that we can finally move on to the next dungeon. And I believe that is you know what? I am not entirely sure. The Wind Temple. That's the temple that it was. And by the way, I'd like to point out the fact that while I was going to Outset Island and all of that, getting Grandma's hearty soup and making my way back to this here dungeon room, Medli was inside that room the whole time with the dark nut and the bubbles. But she's completely fine, so that's a-okay, I guess. Let's get you back up there, Medli. I know that I said, I think the first episode where I was working in this dungeon, I believe that I said that working with a partner, working with Medli and using the command melody to control her would be fun. Unfortunately, now that I've actually had the experience of doing this dungeon with Medli, I can honestly say that it hasn't been so much fun as it has been tedious, and I'm not complaining, I'm just being honest with my thoughts towards this dungeon here. I mean, it's cool and all that you have a partner, but it got a little tiring having to control Medli and having to make sure that she's okay and not get caught by the floor masters and all of that. You guys know what I mean, right? But anyway, this is the room where we are going to make our way to the boss chamber. Let's see if Medli can make it up here without running out of her purple meter, her flight meter, if you will. By the way, I should probably go ahead and show you that, remember how in the Forest Haven, that place where the Deku tree was, I got one of those colorful excuse me, not fire flowers, but one of those fireflies that I was going to give to Lenzo so that I could get a colored pixel box? Well, I removed it from my inventory because I thought that I could fill 2 of my empty bottles with Grandma's hearty soup. I keep calling it hearty soup, but I guess that's an appropriate word to use because that's what she calls it, and it really is such a delicious soup, you know? If it restores all of my health and all of my magic, it really is a hearty soup. But anyway, I got rid of the the firefly, thinking that I could, fill 2 of my bottles with the soup, but it turns out you can only fill 1 of the bottles with soup, so just keep that in mind. But I believe that there's a fairy in here somewhere. Or not. That's a little bit surprising. Normally there would be a fairy inside the jars that are found outside of the boss room, right? But it looks like that's not the case here. Alright, Medli, you stay right here while I go ahead and take on this final boss. Oh, what is that noise? What is that noise? Oh, look at all the pose, all the colors of the rainbow. Oh, you see, there's red, there's yellow, there's blue, I think that there's orange. Yeah, I see orange. There's violet, there's blue. Look at all these pose. Okay, this now is just a little bit freaky, if I may say so myself. It's one giant Po with a swirl on his stomach. Okay, now I need to remember how I'm supposed to go about this. it looks like, just like with any of the other pose, if you reflect your light at him, it will weaken him and cause him to materialize, so that's not so bad. Now, here's the issue though. I don't know how I'm supposed to attack him, because it looks like he's so fat that the fat just causes the blows of my sword to bounce back and not affect him at all, so how about a skull hammer? Will that do? Okay, even the skull hammer isn't enough. How about arrows? Nothing here is working. I'm trying to figure out... Oh, I got it. Remember how you have a power bracelet, right? Well, you can pick him up and then throw him at the spiked walls. That is how you're going to do damage, okay? So... Just for the record. Oh, but it doesn't end there. After you throw them at the spikes, a bunch of these pose will appear, and it looks like that you need to take them out one by one. That is what you want to do. Now, right now, I would recommend using your arrow, because it looks like one single arrow from your bow will take out one pose. So that's an easy way to take them out. And I've got 26 arrows, so why not just do that, you know? It's easy to do it that way instead of using your sword, at least in this case. So I'm gonna shine my light on you once more. It's kind of interesting how you use the power bracelet all of a sudden, because throughout this dungeon, you haven't been using the power bracelet at all, aside from actually using it to enter the dungeon. Remember how there was a giant stone head, I guess, in front of the entrance to the Earth Temple? So I kind of forgot that I even had the power bracelet now that I think about it. But we'll be using it more than... We'll be using it more after this dungeon. I'm recalling one other instance where you need to use the power bracelet, so just keep that in mind once again. I think I've been telling you guys to keep quite a few things in mind. But, oh my goodness. Wow, that did a lot of damage. Did you guys see that? That was rough. That was harsh. It's a good thing I've got some of Grandma's soup, you know? And not only that, I've got 2 servings of the soup, so we're covered as long as I make sure to drink the soup before allowing myself to die. But you know what? I'm going to try and make sure that I don't die. That would be ideal, you know? And I know what I said about using arrows and all, and yeah, it's good to use arrows and all, but I think that using the sword actually might be a faster way. Swinging your sword might be a faster way to take out these Poes, because it's a little bit hard to aim and then actually hit Poe with your arrow, because they're just running around. They're panicking and all of that. You see how they were freaking out? And I'm going to take my first serving of Grandma's soup just to make sure, because at first it kind of looked like that. Oh, that did 3 hearts of damage. That is terrible. Remember how those battleships, whenever they shot us with their bombs, they did how many hearts? They did only 2 hearts, but in this case, they do a whole 3 hearts. That is terrifying. So it's best to play it safe right now and to just, you know, take the soup when you can, I guess. All right, that's 2 more, and we just need to take care of 3 more Poes. There's the blue and the purple one. 1 more! Come on! Yes! There you go. And that is the boss of the Earth Temple. Nothing too complicated, right? That is it, right? Oh, the mask is kind of freaking out. Aw, how adorable. He's kind of flying all over the place. And he committed suicide. What's with that? He probably didn't realize that there was a source of light on the ceiling above him like that. Alright, well, we got yet another heart container, and we have completed the Earth Temple, meaning that we will now allow Medley to pray in this temple to restore power to the Master Sword, so that is something else. Let me just go ahead. What was that? Oh, it was arrows. I heard this noise of an object falling, but it was just an arrow. Thankfully, I now have full amounts of arrows, or my bag is full with arrows, so that's good. And I don't know why I'm collecting more arrows now that I just said that my quiver is full of arrows. But nonetheless, we got a heart container. Look at that. We've got quite a bit of hearts now. We've got 9 hearts, so that's good. Let's go ahead and warp and see what lies in store for us next. Okay, maybe we're not going to warp. Looks like that glowing area just activates this cutscene. We gotta wait for Medley before we can teleport anywhere. This has been quite the demonstration of teamwork, even though I said that it was a little bit difficult, right? You know, having to control Medley, having to be aware of her presence and how we are to work with her in order to complete the dungeon. You know, it's been good. It's been good nonetheless. I like how the Master Sword is just standing there on its tip. Oh, and here we see Naruto once again. This is awesome, seeing Link conduct these two. Look at Link's animation, by the way he conducts. It kind of just stops, and then it resets like that. It's a little bit jagged, I guess. The transition isn't smooth, the loop isn't smooth. That's just a little thing that I noticed, though. If you guys haven't noticed yet, I tend to notice little things like that and then point them out to you guys. Whoa, that was a little weird. Once again, not a smooth animation, but the point is, the prayers of the Earth Sage have restored the Master Sword's former energy. There we go. There is but one last step before it becomes the true Master Sword once again. ShdwjGaming, the power to repel evil is not yet fully awakened. To complete the awakening of the Master Sword, you must go to the Wind Temple for one more prayer. Now ShdwjGaming, step into the light behind you and return to the surface. Your next duty is to find the Sage of the Wind Temple. I will remain here and continue to pray. You must hurry. And ShdwjGaming, about Prince Kamali, please watch over him for me. Wow, Medli is quite the brave soul. She's going to remain here in the Earth Temple, as she just said, while we make our way to our next destination, the Wind Temple. Because really, the Earth Temple is such a creepy place, right? And to decide to just stay there and continue to say your prayers to this so-called Earth God, right? That takes some guts, that takes some courage. Don't you guys agree? Now, before we continue on, I think that it would be safe to just make our way to Outset Island once more so that we can get some more of Grandma's soup, right? Just to play it safe, but I'll go ahead and cut that out. That's not so important. Huh? Oh, I accidentally played the command melody. My bad. We want to play Ballad of Gales, remember? So, as I said, I'm going to cut that because Outset Island isn't so important right now. I will see you guys after I get the soup guess. I guess, I mean. After I get the soup guessed. No, after I get the soup, I guess. And my bottle has once again been filled with more soup. Now I've got 2 servings again. Before we move on, let's just check this mailbox. Let's see what you have for us tonight, Mr. Red Mailbox. I hope that it's a piece of heart. One can only hope, right? This parcel has been sent cash on delivery. Oh no, please. Okay, it's only 10 rupees. Remember last time how Tingle charged us, or the mailbox charged us 201 rupees because, you know, Tingle sent it and it was from his island, right? That was a little bit annoying. Yo, man, how you been? I gotta tell you, you really helped me out back there at the mail center. I appreciate it. I've been trying real hard ever since then, but my postman skills are still weak. I just can't seem to hit 22 letters. Are you serious, man? Getting 22 letters is not that hard. You really gotta focus a little bit more. But that's just my constructive criticism, which is more an insult than constructive criticism. Sorry, man. So anyway, I've been hearing all kinds of crazy tales about you, and I figured I just had to write you a letter. It sounds like you're doing some pretty amazing stuff, man. You're great. You're awesome. You're the man. You can probably tell that I had no idea what to write, but hey, I figured the least I could do would be to send you a letter of encouragement. So, yay, man. Yay. Go, man. Go. Never give up. Never lose hope. What is this? We have our own personal cheerleader? That's cool. That's cool. And while I don't have much, or while I don't make much, I'm sending you the wages I've earned lately. Just doing my part. Hope it helps. Oh, wow. This is such a generous guy. I'm really sorry I had to send this Call of Duty, but I guess that's the price of fame. Take care. Call of Duty. I don't want Call of Duty right now. What I want is The Legend of Zelda. Oh, look at that. He sent me 20 rupees. I know that it's not much, but just think about that. He's sending me his wages. That is very generous, and it really wasn't even necessary at all. He didn't even need to do that, but he did it out of the kindness of his heart. Such generosity. Now, quickly, let's take a look at our map, right? We need to take a look at where we need to head to next, and it looks like the Wind Temple is over here. That is not too far from us, but we're going to do that in the next episode. So thank you once again, guys, for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next episode of Wind Waker HD. Hey, thank you guys once again for tuning in. I know that this is a little bit new. I decided to make an end card for myself because I was looking at different places, like for example the Let's Play subreddit and all of that, and people were saying that making an end card is a really good thing. So I decided to do that. Now, at the end of each video, you can click on links to lead you to the previous video of a series as well as the next video of the series, assuming that that video is out already. And also, I'd like to remind you guys, if you enjoyed the episode, if you thought that it was of good quality, if you enjoyed the commentary, even if it made you laugh or if it made you smile, please don't forget to leave a like and as well as subscribe to see more from me later on in the future. Also, you can follow me at the social links listed below in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I believe that is where I put it. I have links to Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch respectively, I believe, in that order. But nonetheless, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Welcome once again to this end card, and I will see you guys later. That was a bit weird of a departure, but nonetheless, I will see you guys later.